Solid as always.
As always, fantastic.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hey, Tony.
Hello. Where is everybody today? Wake up. Get out of bed.
Because it's Wednesday.
Because it's Wednesday.
It is.
It's Wednesday.
I fucked it all up.
It's not the normal time.
Like, where are the people? Hey, Vanessa's here. Dope.
Hey, Vanessa,
Brown
darling.
Dwarf was here
What's
earlier.
Hey, Brown Dwarf, darling.
Well, let's not point it out when there's no one here.
Yeah, Jesus.
My
Bree.
I just was saying, where is
wow.
everyone? Maybe I was
Wow.
talking about the people in my head.
A lot of
Maybe I'm
people
wondering
listen
voices.
audio.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yes, they're. If you're listening on Spotify.
Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify or on
In
iTunes.
like 6 to 8 weeks.
Because there's a delay. You can watch all of this on YouTube. I always put the link in the description on the videos of like watch the video here.
Well, there you
And of
go.
course on the audio.
And, you may have noticed, anyone that's here right now, Vanessa, we're here on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, and that's my
Yeah,
fault.
we apologize.
We are.
That's my fault. And then I didn't come close, but I had the opportunity to flake out tonight, but I did not.
We appreciate that.
All that
Multiple-
matters is you had the chance.
Multiple people offered me free, very expensive tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins tonight. And I was like, nah, can't do it. I got the Cryptid Corner. The Cryptid Corner needs me.
You're dedicated. I like it.
And I don't
I
like
know,
going
I
out
would've
on
gone.
school nights either.
I feel you on that one. I also just don't like going out in general. I'm a stay-at-home kind of lady.
Yeah, I'm not a big people person.
Either.
What do you know? We are all on the internet.
I
I really,
Shit.
I was
Comfort
thinking
of our
about
homes.
this the other day, not that long ago. Remember, like you would, like say it'd be a Friday night, and maybe you like fell asleep, and you woke up, you're like, shit, I missed the whole night. Like I was supposed to go out and like party and everything, and now it's like, nah, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, oh, Friday
Remember
night,
when like
I can
party
stay up late and
time was
sleep
a
in.
commodity?
It
Like,
really
going out,
was.
yeah. Now
It's
Yeah,
not
it used to
anymore.
be.
Yeah, it used to be.
Listen, we're all getting older in age, and we're just we're tired.
Yeah, we're tired. I mean, and that's the thing. Once you get older, you just realize you don't want to be around other people. You're just like, oh God, why do I want to go to a party?
That's why I don't
No.
like going to the movie theaters. Like, I'd rather just watch it at home.
At
I don't
home,
want to be
yeah.
like with all those people, and they're
Yeah, sounds
and
awful.
to me. Like, get out of here.
Every time I'm out in the world, and I feel
wanna
like
go home.
yeah, no, there's that for sure. But like I'm always just like constantly anxious that like, oh my God, it's fucking crowded, and I'm about to spend money. So it's just crowded
Yeah.
and expensive every time you leave the house. I'm just like, nope, I'm gonna stay in as much as I
Truly,
possibly
sometimes I go around, like I go grocery shopping and do my shit, and then I look at how much money I spent, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I was gone for an hour and a half. How did that happen? Fuck me.
My favorite is then payday, and then you pay your bills, and then you look at your check after. You're like, Jesus.
You're like, oh,
How am I gonna make this work for 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Did
Mhm.
I actually get paid, or did I imagine that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like last weekend we went to a college football game, and I realized
Fun.
heading out there, I was like, this is the first time I've left town in like 6 weeks.
He was becoming one of the other.
And it's
farm
not like
animals.
it's not like the town you live in. It's like a
Anthony.
thriving metropolis to experience culture in, right? Like leaving town's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, because I live in a huge.
We saw last weekend we saw Wu-Tang and Nas and Busta Rhymes, and the tickets were reasonable. They were like around $100 after fees and everything.
That's not bad.
But every trip to the bar is just me and my wife. Every trip to the bar was at least $40.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure. $20 a drink. Yeah.
And it's us, so there's multiple trips. I'm like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's like a cruise ship. That's where they get you.
God, that's
They
exactly
get
what
you
it's
on
like.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
the worst at the bar.
Speaking of
Fucking
going out of
worst.
town, me and Bree did go Bigfoot hunting. Some of the people in the chat probably were at the show yesterday where we presented all of our evidence, went over our story and our experience. I'm sad to say that Bobby and Tony have not watched it yet, so we can't even talk to them about it. They don't even have like any questions or anything because they didn't watch it yet.
Can we ask you questions?
We're
Sure.
sitting here blind.
They'd be like,
I
did
have
you
plenty
see anything?
of questions.
Well, no, I
have-
feel like you have to watch it first, and then whatever
No, no,
questions
no.
you
There's a
have
lot.
afterwards.
I want to hear
yeah.
it from the horse's mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I'm
why
not-
we. That's
I'm
why
not
we
calling
did
you a
it.
horse.
Okay, so the episode is like, so instead of editing together a bunch of video, we like went live, just me and her, and then just presented everything and talked about it as we went and answered questions from
The Lazy
live
Man's
chat.
documentary.
Yes, the Lazy Man's. I even said to Brie,
It's
I was
a
like, I
found
love
footage
this.
documentary. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, somebody asked at one point. They were like, "Did you shoot this Blair Witch style?" And I was like, 100% yes,
Yeah, that was the plan the whole time.
the entire
No.
time.
It made more sense this way because people asked all kinds of questions in the chat, and then we're just able to answer it. You know.
So let me just ask you this, because granted, like you said, Tony and I have not watched it yet.
Mhm.
What do you think is the most like compelling thing you experienced out there?
Ooh.
That means there's multiple things if you're struggling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the most profound thing for me is whatever it was mimicking us.
Okay.
Like we were making sounds towards it and it was making different sounds back, and it was like trying to communicate with us in some way.
Were you strapped to the gills with
Dickfoot.
crystals, Reiki crystals?
We did have crystals inside the tent with us. There were some crystals, but I'll tell you, Bobby, the first night it wasn't like a negative. It was like a very playful, like we kind of chased it around our camp. Like even Bree like was
Now,
trying to walk up as
okay.
close as she could to it.
So there was something out there in the close distance that was like just kind of scampering through the woods.
Not even scampering. I wouldn't call it that. It was literally stalking.
It was lollygagging and having a roustabout out there.
It was a very curious
around.
thing, and it was checking us out and trying to figure out what we were, just as much as we were trying to figure out what it was, I think.
So you guys are with like experienced Bigfoot people, correct?
One person
Only
was.
one. Everyone else dropped out.
Yeah, everyone, so it ended up only being four of us.
Four of you. Okay, what were the
Mhm.
other two people doing that have done this before? Were they like
They were
equally?
with us.
I mean, were equally like enthralled by this situation?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was like the four of us running around the camp, like saying to each other, like, "What was that? What is this? What
It's
is
over
that?
here. It's over there.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this?"
It's like my
Yeah.
fucking dream come true.
Yeah, literally. You would have loved it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love playing grab ass with little Sasquatches in the woods
Oh yes.
around a
It's literally what it
campfire.
was like the first night. Yeah,
All right,
very
so
playful.
I'll have to watch the video.
You have to watch it. You
You
have to
will.
go watch it. Everyone
And
go
then
watch
hit
it.
us with the questions.
Mhm.
All right.
So-
Jamie.
Tonight's
So
drinking
today-
game.
Yeah, what are we here for today?
Today we're here for the beast
Drink.
of Exmoor.
And the word
Now that is
based.
now Exmoor is how you pronounce it, right?
guess.
Where's Kari?
Yeah, where's Kari when you need her?
It is Exmoor. Exmoor. And in that whole area they call the Moor. So this isn't actually the only cryptid in that area.
Mm.
There's another one. And they're like the beasts of Moor.
Damn, Jamie.
Right?
Wow.
Don't
Okay.
threaten me with a good time.
Wow. I like it. I would do something like that too. My hair's looked like that before.
Hey, cool cats and kittens.
Very relaxed.
We're here with the big cats today.
The big cats. Look at that. Look
I
at
do
me
ha-
and
I do
Bobby.
have that track jacket.
Mm.
I should have worn it.
Don't the hats look great? It looks like
I
it
love
really
it.
is you. I love it.
They really do. They really look fantastic. And honestly, you guys would really both rock mullets.
Yeah.
Ah.
Mm.
I always say like Tiger King. I never finished it, but I kind of get. Is this kind of a take on Tiger King? Is that
Yeah,
what
for
this is?
sure. Yeah, this is Tiger King.
I didn't finish it. I get the appeal, I guess.
I
So it's
didn't
pretty weird and funny, but it's whatever. But it will always like that and White Claw and Baby Yoda will always be affiliated with like the beginning of COVID.
the
for
beginning
me.
of
And
COVID.
it's like it just makes me
Exactly.
feel icky.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ooh, I understand that. I get you. Bad memories.
It's like watch The
Makes me feel
Mandalorian
icky.
and Tiger King and drink White Claws
And
for
then don't
2
leave your house.
years.
Don't leave your house. Yeah.
Around for like
You're like
year
Roger,
4.
Roger.
I see this and I
Alright.
just see me popping out going, guess what, motherfucker?
Yeah.
This was this whole scene right here was the beginning of my alcoholism, I think.
Yeah, you should have had some White Claw on the ground for sure.
Mhm.
I have those boots.
Damn, that
too.
would have made sense too. That's
I might
funny.
have those boots too. Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
We're
Yes.
ready.
We're ready. All right. The Exmoor beast.
Oh, it's gonna
Is-
be
the black beast of Exmoor, big cat.
Why's it gotta be black?
Because it's not white. It's a black cat.
Hate crime.
Just
Hate crime.
fucking put that in there. It's a big cat, phantom cat, or an ABC, which is also known as an alien big cat. And we'll kind of dive into some of the more supernatural features of this thing. It is feline, which is a cat.
Oh.
If you didn't know, you're here for the facts, right?
Hard, cold facts.
Hard, cold facts. Feline.
Now the big cat school of cryptids is kind of the redheaded stepchild of the whole phenomenon, the whole school. There's big cat people out there. You know, there's people that are upset. You know, you got your Bigfoot people, you got your Loch Ness people, you got your Chupacabra people. The big cat people. The big cat people are a different breed altogether. I feel like they're a little more scientific about things, but there's a part of them that wants it to be supernatural.
That makes sense to me because it's just an animal. There's nothing like spectacular about it, you know?
Well, they're
fucking cats.
Fucking cats.
And I want to
love
say
cats.
this kind of lines up perfectly. I had a little synchronicity this week. Yesterday, I saw a newsreel on Reuters, believe it or not, and they were blessing people's pets in a drive-by blessing.
Oh my god.
So
Were you
Yeah, it
doing,
was
like, a squirt gun?
the Feast of St. Francis the other day.
yes, so they're blessing people's dogs and their cats. In the first picture I saw of a cat getting holy water on it, the cat looked so pissed off that somebody put water on it, and I was like, "That's just the perfect picture."
Yeah,
Like,
Aw.
cats don't like water, even if it is the compelled
The holy
by
water,
Christ.
exactly.
Yes. So it's like the power of Christ compels you, and the cat's like,
I
yeah,
love
well,
that.
they are evil as shit.
Some of them, yes.
So
I don't like them, but I respect them.
Yeah, I respect
love
them for
cats.
sure.
I identify with them. I don't want to be their friends, though.
I'm
They're
allergic
great
to them.
animals.
I'm a dog
Yeah.
person.
They're horrible animals.
I need a
I'm allergic.
emotionally shallow animal.
They're great animals.
I don't like to earn the
They're
respect of an animal.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's why I love them.
Says a lot about your relationships, I feel like, Bobby.
We can do.
He
a whole
doesn't want
episode on
to.
that. I need submissive and
No
very-
respect for the pussy.
Docile.
That's not true at all. But
Massive respect for the puss.
I think that there is some sort of psychological,
God.
Cats are just
layer
assholes.
cake there.
We
Oh,
should have named him
absolutely,
Big
baby.
Puss. That would have been so cute.
Oh, big puss.
Big puss.
Ah.
Big
great.
Puss.
So it does,
So
according to the legend, look just like a black panther or a black puma. Now, I will tell you, a black puma, mountain lion, whatever you want to call it, a cougar, does not exist. Cougar.
What?
Yeah, not like a 53-year-old woman looking for a 22-year-old guy, but like the cat. It is dark gray.
can we talk about cougars next time?
We should.
Just
It's my second favorite interest after Bigfoot.
If anything, pussies live next door to an asshole.
They do. Not very far.
Not far
I
at all.
didn't. I didn't anticipate all the pussy jokes on this episode.
Yeah, can
but
we
it
stay on
totally,
topic?
Sorry.
totally makes sense now that we're here.
Apologies.
Yes,
all right,
now that-
so
Now that all four of us have got together,
now
Yeah.
Tony, you're captain in the big pussy episode.
I am. Here we go.
Give us the next
So-
slide, B.
I'm sorry,
Go
were you
back,
done
go
yet?
back real quick. Yeah.
Oh,
So I want to talk
sorry.
about this, the size real quick.
Okay.
3.5 feet to 8 feet long is a huge difference when you talk nose to tail. So 3.5 feet, that's kind of like what a bobcat is, if
Mhm.
you're familiar with small kitties. And 8 feet long, that's a big ass animal.
Now, does a big part of that have to do for the tail, though? Because, like, what if the tail's like 2 feet, 3 feet long?
Well, pumas
Exactly.
have really long tails, and I think
Yeah, it says
It
nose
is.
to tail.
It's
No,
really
but that's what I'm
tail.
saying though.
Panthers
So
do,
saying that
too.
it's 8 feet is like, well, the majority of that might be its tail because its tail could be the size of its body, could it not?
It's like
Pumas
3
are.
feet, but then
I
the
mean,
rest is
yes,
just tail.
it's a
Just
big
like-
cat, but it's not like
Big
unknown
tail.
to nature that size of a cat, right?
For
Right.
sure, exactly.
So like I'm 6'5", and I've seen tigers at least as long as me without the tail, and the tail is at least another foot 2 feet or so, right?
exactly.
So there you go.
There you
There
go.
you
But
go,
either
bro.
way, still horrifying and still very
Still
weird to see
terrifying to see.
in the backwoods of the UK.
Which really isn't woods, is it?
Would you tell me, Captain?
Okay.
It really isn't. So
Wow.
origins. Devon and Somerset, United Kingdom. So I was surprised to learn that Exmoor is southwest England. Every time I heard this story, I always thought it would be like more north and what we would consider to be like a less populated area. But I guess
Mhm.
Where the crazies of England live.
yes. But I guess what's that? Like Wales? Near
Yeah.
Wales?
Well, that's its
Mhm.
own. Yeah.
Yeah,
Leeds.
no, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Woo.
Tell him to sound like a cat so that it makes sense.
Right.
So it is a national park. So this kind of leads into why they're seeing these kind of things there. It's known for ponies, which just are
Oh, that's cute.
baby horses. I guess we could have said horses.
Now, what happens when they turn into
No,
a full-grown
ponies are like
horse? Do they just
small
leave?
horses. No,
No,
ponies
those are
and horses
donkeys.
are different things. No, ponies and horses
What?
are different things. Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Like horses are like they're like okay. If you think of like how they have
Say
dogs
that
that are different
respectfully.
sizes. Dogs are like they make them like smaller and smaller versions of them. Ponies are like smaller versions of horses. They're
No,
bred to
yeah,
be
it's called a
small.
baby horse.
Yeah, they're pony.
I'm
They're
gonna have
made
to
be
look
small.
all this up because
Yeah.
It's like
I could
little
totally
people,
see
they're
that
just
being
little
the
horses.
case, but
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
It's
It's the
100%
same,
what
just
it
tiny.
is. Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah,
so,
So
cute.
you're
That
telling
doesn't
me
make, when you go on pony rides, you're riding a full-grown horse.
No, I mean
Well, you're riding a
sometimes
full-grown pony.
You're riding a full-grown pony.
Right. I know. You know what I'm saying though. Like it's a full-grown horse-like creature.
Yeah, that's
Not a baby.
That's as big
like,
as it gets.
It's not a
yeah.
baby cowboy horse.
No, that's as big as it gets.
so it's like a Shetland pony,
Yeah, like a Shetland pony, exactly.
but
They're
they're
small.
wild.
What do you call a baby horse?
A pony.
A calf or a
calf?
there's like different names for them. Yeah, depending on what
is
they
that?
are.
What a calf was for
Oh,
a cow.
No, not a calf. It starts with an F. It starts with an F, and I can't think of it.
fawn,
Oh.
a fowl.
Fowl?
Yeah, fowl, Foul.
That means bird.
No, that's bird.
FOWL.
I don't know. Name something. I don't fucking know. I can't
Just
think of it right
call
now.
it baby.
All right. moving
Baby,
along.
yeah, it's called something else. A pony is a
fowl.
small horse.
Nightgazer says fowl.
Yeah, like
That's
fowl.
foul.
See? Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
FOWL.
The name is pretty foul.
Whatever. I'm allowed to be wrong.
It's not like a yard bird.
Not like a yard bird. No. Well, that's a great restaurant.
And
So-
bad.
Because
Anywho.
this is England, this used to be the ancient royal hunting forest. So you can imagine how many hungry people were murdered because they tried to take food out of there.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, fuck England. It has a couple.
Stop.
I'm sorry. I
They're
just
white.
don't
It's not a
like
hate
them.
crime.
It's not a hate crime. They're white.
It's not.
It
why
has
it's
a
rare.
couple of declared sites of special scientific interest due to their flora and fauna. So there's like a lot of unique animals in here and a lot of unique, more like on the vegetation side than the animal side because the
Mhm.
Europeans killed all the animals on their land.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which,
Now-
if you didn't know
Now,
that-
ponies are native to what? Spain and Arabia.
Arabia. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so these aren't
Arabian
native
nights.
ponies.
No,
mean,
they
they are-
stole them.
Ponies don't
right?
seem to fuck up the ecosystem when you just like let them chill.
Because they just help. They
they
just
just
eat
mow the
grass.
lawn and shit.
then the thing is that their manure is a great fertilizer. So if anything, they're just eating the seeds and then pooping them back out, so they plant more. So they're probably good for the environment.
So okay,
Mhm.
so I guess the
But this
takeaway
was
here, because we'll get
gorgeous,
into
man.
it with a relic alien cat.
The ABC.
Does
Mhm.
it? I don't know though, because I was gonna say, would carnivores affect the ecosystem more than herbivores? But I don't know if
Yes.
that's true either.
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
They-
For sure.
So
Much bigger impact.
we'll get into this because this actually plays into what's happening
Right.
where I live, which is
Oh,
just something that is we'll get into that. The impact that an
You have
animal
dire
like
wolves?
this. We don't have dire wolves. I wish we did. That'd be
They're fucking real. I want to do
They
a
are.
dire wolf episode.
Let's do that.
So, yeah, this place I think is beautiful.
It
Looking
is.
at all the landscape, I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. The waters look beautiful. There are, of course, a lot of areas where it's just rolling hills and it looks a little dead. But for the most part, I mean, I would love to visit this place.
It looks like it's nicer than like
Everywhere.
Mobile, Alabama.
Well, that's not that difficult.
But
Oh.
Mobile has a nice beach, now that I mention it.
So here it is. Here's the beast of Exmoor.
Ooh,
Das
drink, everybody.
Beast.
And this is kind of indicative of its description. It has like this glowing mouth where we're going to kind of get into how there's a supernatural element to it. The sightings first trickled in during the 70s, but became well known after an incident that occurred in 1983. This guy who is a sheep farmer, Eric Lay in South Moulton, he lost, was it 100 sheep in 3 months? So that's a lot.
So can I just point something out? I think we may have talked about it before, but the largest game, I guess, the largest animal in England, the biggest carnivore is like a wolf, right? The biggest.
No,
like,
they killed all
predator.
their wolves.
Okay.
It's a
So
fox.
I'm
got
drawing
nothing.
that from like medieval fucking fantasy movies I've seen or something.
Yeah.
So the deer is basically the biggest animal, right?
Yeah, they call them.
They don't have
call them
bears.
Hearts.
They don't have
Uh,
bears.
They don't have bears in England.
No, there's
they
no
killed
bears
all
over
their
there.
bears.
They had
No,
bears.
There's just nothing
used
in
to,
England.
yeah.
You have to remember that England's been around for a very long time, and way back in the beginning, they were hunters
That
and
doesn't matter.
gatherers.
England's been around for a while.
No, you don't understand that they've literally they're on like an island. There's only so many resources that are there and they've completely wiped them of their area.
It's the
Yeah,
circle of
they-
life.
Yeah, they killed all the wolves. They killed all the bears. They killed all the bobcats and everything. The only thing left is foxes, and there's like badgers.
Oh yeah,
But
This is
like,
why-
that's about it.
yeah. Okay. They have deer though, right?
Yeah, they call them hearts
Okay.
Lee Chad.
for some
All right.
fucking reason.
We need to
Well, I don't
release
know
some
why.
wild hogs
But an important
starring
thing
Tim
to-
Allen in
I
England.
think they do have. Yeah, they probably do.
All
So
right.
an important thing to understand is that all the sheep had violent throat injuries, and if you understand how cats attack their prey, they always go for the throat. Everybody knows, like the lion and the tiger and jaguars and everything go for the throat. So that's kind of how these violent throat injuries led them to believe that there is this big cat, this beast out there that is violently killing their livestock.
Can I just point
Mhm.
out that I appreciate when predators simply go for the throat, because that's a quick,
Easy
probably
kill.
still painful, but like if you like, for example, if you get attacked by a chimpanzee, it's like a slow,
It's eating your face off.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long involved process. Whereas
Yeah.
a panther, it's
Mhm.
like, all right, just slit my throat. Let's get this over with.
Let's get it over with.
You
Exactly.
never know. You could actually just get hit, like bit or scraped in the throat, and it wasn't that deep, and you have to wait to bleed out and lose consciousness.
Still better than a monkey eating your face.
Yeah.
True.
Cats clamp on and they hold you and wait for you to die. And they eat you after you're dead. Bears will
Mhm.
eat you while you're alive.
Still alive and just pulling pieces.
Yeah, they're the most horrible. Grizzly bears, because there's nothing big enough to challenge them, they will eat you while you're alive, and they don't care.
I don't care.
I respect that too for some reason. I don't know
Well,
why.
how could you
It's-
expect them to care? That like they're like, oh, my bad.
Oh yeah, like, sorry.
They don't give a
Sorry,
fuck.
I heard
That you
my
happen to still
kids,
be
my bad.
alive. Yeah.
Grizzly don't give a fuck.
I doubt a grizzly bear even really probably grasps realize that you're
Yeah, I don't know if
dead or
it's
alive.
agile.
It's probably
I don't
like,
know
"Oh,
if it's
I'm just-"
agile enough to be like, "Hey, I'm just going to go for the throat." It just wants to swat at you and then start eating you. Whereas
Oh, yeah.
whereas like a cat, like is just all about that kill. He's not, you know what I mean? He just wants to get it over with. He doesn't want to chase after you. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Bad leeches.
It's been a long week, guys.
It has.
It's
And
okay.
only
It has
Wednesday.
been. It's only Wednesday too.
So the Beast of Exmoor is blamed accountable for livestock deaths even till this day. And I think that's
Interesting.
important because there's still these kills happening and they don't have a solid explanation for it.
That
Is
one
one
makes
of
me
the
mad.
theories like occult rituals by chance?
Nope.
All right.
I like how far back his eyes are rolled downward, not back,
Not
but
up,
down.
down.
It's like, "Ah." I was like, ooh, those teeth? No.
That would be so fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
So this picture, I saw this. It kind of looks like
I loved
a
this. I was
black
like, wow.
bobcat.
They all
So
look
this
like that
doesn't
to
look
me.
very puma-ish to me. This looks more bobcat or lynx. Like just
You know,
So-
it's interesting. People just throw a lot of words around, and I don't know if that's because people do know the subtle differences of them or because the first thing that people can think of when they try to describe the animal is whatever word, because I hear it exchanged a lot. Puma, panther, leopard, cougar, like people just use all of those combined.
Probably
it
just
seems
because
like.
it seemed probably because they're just describing a large cat.
Yeah,
And that's
and
kind of what's interesting about this thing is that it's with most cryptids, I feel like there's some extraordinary stuff that we're seeing. It smells a certain way. It does.
Mhm.
It may have been a cat, but it had scales or something different. But they're literally just describing a large cat.
And as far as like a puma, a panther, a leopard, a jaguar, like I could probably pick out what's what in a lineup, but it would be very difficult to I think for me at least, to describe the real difference between those.
For
things.
sure.
It would just sound like a big cat.
Yeah. So that's a leopard.
See?
Sure.
Case in point.
It's
They're
definitely not a cougar because it's black. Cougars are tan. They only
Oh.
come in one color. Sorry. The
Oh,
Exmoor
shoot.
beast was spotted fishing with its paw in the river Barley. I don't know why the Brits have to put river before the name
Yeah, is
of
that
the
a
river.
panther? That looks like fucking Shere Khan.
Shere Khan. That was a tiger.
I want to ride.
Oh. No, there was
I
panthers
wish I could
in
have
that,
one
in
really
that show
bad.
though, right?
Yeah, I hung out with Baloo.
Yeah, I think that's a panther.
Might be.
Might
You know,
be.
a black panther is just a jaguar with a genetic mutation that it doesn't have the spots. It's just all black.
Interesting.
You learn shit on this
Do
show.
you know that tigers
Oh,
can have
okay.
Down syndrome?
So technically that is a panther, even if it is a leopard, even if it is a cougar.
Yes.
I've seen pictures of
just-
tigers with Down syndrome.
They're so funny.
They're so
Oh.
cute.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, they inbreed. So for those of
Sorry.
you who are watching, because we're making jokes about it, so they will inbreed white tigers to
Mm-hmm.
make more white tigers
Mm-hmm.
because it's a super rare genetic disorder and they're
Mhm.
blind or deaf or whatever. But then, yeah, you get really,
Flat faced,
yep.
genetically fucked up tigers.
Mhm.
Likes apples.
It's like,
Oh my god.
so 1988. Yes, Bree.
Nothing.
Hawkzilla, stick around. That ain't the half of it.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
you haven't heard anything yet. 1988 increased reports of livestock death and sightings of the beast. That's a drink.
Ooh, drink, sorry.
Prompted the Ministry of Agriculture to order the Royal Marines to send sharpshooters into the Devon Hills. The ministry continued to investigate into the mid-1990s, and their conclusions were it was either a hoax, a myth, or what this doesn't kind of go into is in the 60s and 70s owning big cats. Do you get into that?
Yeah,
Okay.
just a little bit.
So yeah, So,
Like starts saying it secretly.
secretly, like, does anybody hear this? So it could have been a really huge fucking badger or something. We don't know.
Yes.
But they said
I
it was
like
like a myth.
I like that you skipped over the Exmoor beast. Like
Beast.
I did it for you.
Bria the Explorer.
I didn't push that. I swear to God, I
Who
hit the
did?
drink one.
I thought it still worked there though.
Mhm.
I really didn't.
Cheers.
So the rumors were that the British Army circulated and entrapped the animal, but when the Marines showed up, I don't know why they had to call their Marines
They're
to
too
come
scared.
shoot it. But nothing was in the building, which sparked the theories that the beast was an interdimensional creature. And this is where the alien big cat theory comes from. And if you watch like a lot of cryptozoology stuff in the 90s, alien big cats were super huge. Like it was a huge thing.
Like rods.
Yeah, the rods, which were just
I'm into the
bugs flying
rods.
by the
Fucking rods. All right. I want to hear Bree's argument for rods one day.
This is just going to be a series of alleged photos that were taken of this creature.
Okay.
This is the first one.
Yeah,
It's
this
like
is
a bear.
There's no bears in England. But
You know,
this
what?
is
We don't
kind
even
of
fucking
like
know.
this is where perspective becomes a problem. Like if I knew how tall the bushes were behind it, I could tell you how big the animal is that's in front of those bushes. Or
But I can understand that from really far away, someone glancing at it can absolutely think that that looks like a cat.
I think it does look like a cat. Looks like Battle Cat, as Bobby Broadway implied a second ago.
Battle cat.
I can see
It looks
that.
like a fucking bear, doesn't it?
No close with
It's
the
got a
close up,
tail.
yeah, but from like far away, okay. I could
No,
Maybe
see-
a bear.
If you look by the back leg, there's
it does
this
almost
little,
look like there's a tail. It does
black-
almost
It
look
just
like
kind of
it.
look like a bear too.
But it does look like a bear too.
it has a tail.
Perspective.
It's not a bear.
And do
It's
we
also
know?
super pixelated, so we have no idea. You could think you see a tail, but you don't. It's just all the freaking
Oh,
smudge.
here comes Bree the skeptic.
But it's definitely like it's like a larger than normal animal. I think like if you just look at the grass and you look at
You said there's
these-
badgers. That could be a badger.
no, I think like they have sissy badgers. They don't have like Wolverines.
Sissy.
or
Big
honey
Canadian badgers.
Yeah.
Sissy badgers.
They don't have big Calgary badgers.
All right, let's see the next one, Brie.
What? Sissy badgers.
Like small. Okay.
See,
Yeah,
this
that-
makes more sense. It should be thinner, right? Slim, thick. Like that's
Slim,
how
yeah.
usually they seem to be built, not equally. Like I think of a bear as the body type of a square, and big beast cats like a rectangle. You didn't hit the drink
Okay.
button, you suck.
Sorry,
Science.
I'm so
You are
sorry.
here for
I was distracted
science.
by what you were saying. I was just completely enthralled.
Why is that
Now
funny?
you can see spots on this one.
That's pixelation.
No, those are spots.
Of course.
Come on.
It's definitely a cat. So I'm not going to rule out that
Oh,
this
that is
isn't a picture
pixelation.
of a cat.
This just looks like a small cat. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's not like a big tomcat.
Yeah, like you said, we don't have anything for scale, so this could easily be a
Yeah.
house cat.
It could be a rose bush.
almost
that could be
has like
goddamn
a-
tree. I have no idea.
It almost looks like a little black goat or black sheep or
Ooh.
something.
Ooh, like
Yeah,
a shaved
black
little
sheep.
sheep.
With-
I could see that.
pixel
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
Neither of which are known for having tails, though. It
Oh,
definitely,
that's
this
true.
one has a clear tail.
Mm,
Got a little
is that
tummy
their tail?
pooch too. It looks like.
Yeah, it's got a little
I think
Its
that's the leg,
ears
and
are
that's the
back.
second leg.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Leg, tail,
tail.
leg,
yes.
leg.
Stupid face.
Fucking cow
All right,
face.
fine. It's a house cat. Next.
Looks like a
Yeah, I
cow
think house
face.
cat. All right, yeah.
Or bears.
Oh,
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah, but this is definitely a fucking house cat, and I'll tell
that's
you why.
definitely a house cat. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That looks like
It is.
that looks like
Yeah.
Gizmo. I used to live with a cat that looked just like that. He was thick as fuck.
You
He was all
lived
black.
with that dark void of a cat.
So
That
I'll tell you
creepy
why.
giant cat.
I'll tell you why
Cat.
this is
Look
a
at
house
the-
cat.
Look at the
That
fucking
right there,
light
yes,
right
in
here.
the foreground, that's probably about 7 inches tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's or her is
It.
probably like that. What is a road? Is what like a country road is like one car.
That's not a country road. That's like someone's footpath.
That's
No, that's
a
what their roads
driveway.
look like.
No,
though.
that's a driveway.
That's literally a driveway. So like it's a shitty driveway. It's not paved, but it's
That's
a
what I'm saying. They're
driveway.
like 2 tire tracks. The
They
things like
usually
the size
don't
of like
have
tire.
paved roads. Their roads are weird as hell.
Yeah, I
Not
guess
gonna
you're right.
lie.
Even if you were to move that cat up next to that lamp,
It's still not very big.
it's still about the size of the lamp.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's
but
just
no
a
matter
big-
what, it's
Mhm.
it's the
It's a
game of
house cat.
perspective.
But-
we'll never know.
But just because
Sure.
it's a house, like just because it's the size of a house cat, does that mean it's not a beast of Exmoor?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, fair
That
enough.
is not taking down a sheep.
Shout out
But
to
it's
Night
not
Gazer,
creepy.
Bobby
Yeah.
Broadway, Ben is here, Michael's here, and Nightmare.
Hey,
and
Nightmare babes.
Hawkzilla. I think that's it. Vanessa. All right.
Twitch.
No shout outs. All right, let's keep going.
All right.
All right.
This one I'm confusion by.
This is
Like
giving me
what?
a monkey. This is giving me monkey
Yeah,
vibes.
right, like- It's
That
giving me like a
brings-
hybrid monkey vibes.
Yeah,
Not like
like
a
a-
normal monkey.
Yeah, like a weird looking for something in the grass monkey.
But it almost looks like its head is turned towards the back, the right side of the.
It's not looking.
Yeah, like its head's not forward. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Or do they have like anything like coyotes or jackals in
No.
England?
They
Ner.
I
killed
think
all
it's funny
those.
that some people say coyote and some people say coyote.
Coyote.
Well, because a coyote is a singular coyote.
No, it's
but
coyotes.
No.
You can't say
Coyote.
coyotes.
No. Just coyote.
Well,
Coyotes.
Wily Coyote sounds stupid, by the way.
It does.
Oops.
That
Now
This one looks
that's-
more accurate.
It's giving me
Hmm.
better vibes.
That's a house
It's giving
cat.
me links.
that's a thick boy.
It's a thick boy. It's not.
That looks like
giving-
a cougar to me. See that here? Look, I think this is worth bringing up. Like every quote unquote piece of evidence, photographic evidence, like it looks like a different type of cat.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to come up later in my fact or sci-fi, but I'm
I
sure
love
we're
it.
going to get to it even before that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that kind of looks like
Never
a.
control yourself, baby. You like to go off early.
Okay, that's
Nick.
just offensive and very true.
Okay. I found this.
Cutting deep.
I found this one. We'll do a side by side.
Mhm.
From Sam Aston, and this was in this was December 20th, 2021. So I thought that it was interesting to show that all those pictures were prior, evidence wise, but there really wasn't anything. But then obviously people are still saying something.
Mm.
So he said, genuinely, I think I have seen a big cat on Exmoor today. I'll put the cropped photo in the comments. It moved like a cat,
Oh,
was running toward a wooded area, and I think it was a big cat, but maybe wrong given the likelihood. The
Maybe
worst
it
thing
was
is
just a
I'll never
cat.
know. But look, no, because look at how big that thing is. You wouldn't
So
see a
that-
cat
there's
like that.
there's no frame of reference of scale here though. Like
These
No,
two
we got-
twigs is your frame of reference.
no, those twigs are right outside the window. That thing could be way the fuck off, and it is a way off
But
in
it
the distance.
still shouldn't sit between those two sticks.
We
Do
don't
you
know
have
how
like a
far
more
away it
zoomed in
is.
picture of it, Brie? Oh, thank you.
There
There
it
we
is.
go.
Okay. What are
You're
these little
welcome.
lines? What are these? Oh, that's the stick.
That's
The,
the twigs.
the twigs.
We didn't
So
know
this probably is a larger animal because I
This
mean
is-
it might be.
It looks bigger. I
might be
agree.
100 yards away.
That could be a fox.
Night Gazer needs a banana.
That could be a
Oh,
badger.
no. This
Could
one's
be a badger.
interesting.
Badger
This
the
one-
cat theory.
This one piques my interest. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's one thing or another, but this one's interesting. That's to me. I understand the scale. I think I understand the scale that's going on, and it's a pretty decent size. It's bigger than a house cat.
It's probably about 50
Oh,
yards
hell
away, if I
yeah.
had to guess.
Hell yeah.
I think bigger than a house cat.
30 yards
It's
away.
large
It's
if compared to a house cat.
it's large. Yes. It's a big animal.
And
Is
I
it
has
the
some-
beast?
Das beast. Who's
That's
working
it.
the buttons? Because they're not working anything.
Just pushing it.
So there's the beast.
I feel like so many people have a tattoo of that.
Oh, I know. right?
Really?
Oh, I
Of
got a
this?
panther
No,
on
panther
my
tattoos.
side.
Yeah,
So many
everyone has panthers.
ex-girlfriends.
So many people have
panther
panthers.
tattoos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we get them? Maybe when we get
Sure.
older, we'll just get tattoos of every single cryptid we've
Cryptid
ever
we
done on
do.
Bobby's
Yeah.
Cryptid Corner.
Like an arm.
We'll just
Yeah.
do both of our butt cheeks.
I'm not
Ooh, I
doing
like
that.
that actually.
We'll start
Wow,
small,
great.
like all the little, and we'll be like, "Do you know all the cryptids in the world?" And
Let
then
me show you. It's on my ass.
look like a comic
Yeah.
book. You know, you got one page and the page next to it.
I'll
You want to flip
claim,
the page?
I'll claim the OnlyFans.
Yes.
All right.
So, moving on, a Devon farmer found a big cat skull in 2006, which is confirmed by the British Big Cat Society. Manny jumped to believe it was the beast of Exmoor, although it ended up confirmed as a puma
Mm-hmm.
or cougar, mountain lion, whatever.
It said puma.
Puma. It's
punko.
not a puma.
It's a puma.
The official statement by DERFA, that's a stupid ass name, based on the evidence.
It's like the
DERFA does
retarded
not-
cousin of DARPA.
Yeah,
For sure.
DERFA
Jeffra.
Jeffra.
does
So
not
many
believe
hate
that
crimes.
they're-
I'm just like, we're gonna be canceled.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping retard. I'm going to use that word.
DERFA does not believe that there are big cats living in the wild in England, regardless of the fact that they had this skull. So this brings me to what I wanted to talk about that kind of relates to where I live. And
Don't pretend this little thing I said I left here though was that I could literally only find this evidence, like it's named in every single site that you look this thing up, and it seems
Yep.
like people just copy and paste the same story all over the place. But when I tried to actually confirm it and find out like what the tests were done, or like what's the laboratory, what's the official, like more meat to this,
You couldn't find it.
I couldn't. This was the one and only website where I found the most, and this is all it was giving, and that to me is a bit sus.
Sus.
from British
take
big
that-
cats.
Take
With a
that
cup of tea.
what you will.
So
grain of
I
salt.
got to point out. Okay, do we know? Like, did they start a British Big Cat Society because of this phenomenon,
Yes,
or
because
was
there's
it there
not just
previously?
this.
There's like a bunch of British people that are really into like fucking cats.
No, because there's this, and then there's another one, and I want to say it's called like Breton.
There's two cat
That's also
societies.
that's
yeah.
no that is linked in with like monstrous cat things of the moor, but the other one is more of a vampire, but it's still in the
Yes.
same like moor area. So with all the people reporting this for so long, they have the society that's just constantly trying to collect evidence and prove what the hell is going on.
I gotta say, we've been doing this show for over a year now, and my mind has been closed, if anything, not open to anything.
That's funny.
All right.
Can you expand on that for me?
No, I'm just talking shit. It's fine.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
the British Big Cat Society, not to be confused with the other BBC, the British Broadcasting.
Oh shit! I just realized that.
BBW
Wow.
cats.
Wow.
Oh, that's
the
great.
British
BBC.
Broadcasting. Okay. that's what I'm
Network,
talking
yeah.
Oh
about.
my
Big
god.
black cats.
British Broadcasting Channel.
Yes. So they confirmed this to be a puma skull, and they were just like, "Yeah, so you found a puma skull in your farm, but it doesn't mean there's pumas running around." And it's like it's the most ridiculous shit that you could ever hear. They're
You
just
could
like,
buy
yeah.
that on fucking Etsy.
Yeah, and so this kind of hits home.
Yes, you
because,
can. There's replicas
probably.
to purchase.
3D printed puma skulls.
Oh, I'm sure.
You can buy it on Etsy. They've made replicas that you can buy on Etsy.
Mhm, mhm. So in America, if we go to the
America.
real world outside of the UK, there are areas where there are mountain lions, and it is widely agreed that there are mountain lions, but their original range was all throughout pretty much all of the United States. And what people are seeing now is through conservation efforts, they're seeing these mountain lions in places where they haven't been for hundreds of years. And like the DNR, which is the Department of Natural Resources for all you international people, will say there isn't a mountain lion in your neighborhood, or there isn't a mountain lion where you live. And where I live, we have several people have seen mountain lions repeatedly. One got hit by a car, and the DNR is like, oh yeah, it just, that's not normal. And we're like, yo, no, yeah, it is, because everybody sees them. What do you mean it's not normal? So it's like the government denying the fact that these predators are moving into places where they haven't been.
Because then they'd have to deal with it.
Yes, and they don't want to do that.
No, there's no.
And to be honest, I don't want them to, because I don't want a mountain lion tax.
I want to have something to talk about on Bobby's Cryptid Corner.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but that's not. I don't consider that like cryptidy. I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for them. I feel like anytime they move, it's because of what humanity has done to the earth and their environment, and that's why sometimes you see them like mountain lions and whatnot crawl down from the hill, and they start going around in neighborhoods because they need something to eat, and then they shoot it.
Dog.
And then I'm like, why are you shooting it? Just
It's better that cat than my toddler playing tiddlywinks on
is
the old
it though?
driveway.
Yes.
Is this fucking, could this be a saber-toothed tiger?
No.
No.
Do they have saber-toothed tigers in the lowlands of England?
I wish you guys could see this, but it says right over the tooth, because you can't get this photo anywhere other than that website. So it had like their watermark everywhere. But the only part on this tooth says Hebrew.
Hebrew.
This is a black puma. Tell me that doesn't look like the damn beast they're talking about.
Great band.
Ooh.
You notice how it has the spots?
It does have spots on this one. This one does have spots.
You know what doesn't have spots?
Panthers.
Your mother.
Pumas.
Yeah.
So that's a panther or leopard.
Yeah, it's a black leopard. It's just like death.
It could also be the pixels, also, because like you take a picture and we remove the background, we blow it up. You have to be smart about that too. Take that into consideration.
These look like spots.
Those look like spots.
They're definitely spots.
God, you guys
Yeah.
All right.
So in January 2009, I saw this story and I laughed. I read this and I just started laughing. So a 5-foot carcass with large, powerful jaws and a big, manly chest, washed up in a decomposed state on the shore of North Devon Beach, Crody Bay. Why do they name their shit this way? It's supposed to be
like Crode.
Croyd Bay.
Croyd. Yeah, that's why the people down in Creole land speak the way they do. Many thought
Creole land.
Oh God. Yeah. So Louisiana's gonna hate me too. They'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Many thought it was the beast of Exmoor, but they did their little science samples and sent it and found out it was just a fucking seal. Which is kind of like people overreacting.
It's a huge ass seal.
Things. Seal, it's 5 foot. It's not that big.
It's not really that big for a seal. Yeah, that's a pretty typical size of like a full-grown seal.
But it's within the range of what the beast of Exmoor is.
For sure.
So when you have a carcass that is the same size, and everyone's just like, well, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
to me, it just looks like one rib, like one giant like beef rib.
Let's talk about flippers versus like full-blown tiger legs and paws.
But this is all that you see. You have no idea.
Yeah, but they literally saw the skeleton of a pinniped and was like, that's definitely a fucking cat.
Yeah, that's
Like the pinnipeds, their back legs are literally like attached to their tailbones. They're like,
But you would have
this.
to know that if you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah,
it would
but they
just be
know
a
what a
giant.
tiger looks like, panther
it-
or whatever the fuck we're talking about.
Like
Yeah.
I could.
This
I
script
could
is pissing me off.
It's
Everything
know
like,
about it.
I
it's like the
almost
Montauk
messaged you guys
Monster.
today, and then I was like, no, I can't, because then everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, Brie.
Oh my it's kind of like the Montauk Monster. Like at least that had flesh on it and everything. But if I came across the seal carcass and looked at it, and I would be like, oh yeah, who the fuck left this elephant here?
Hmm.
It's the same train of thought.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
I get what you're saying. Do it, baby.
Oh, I found a cat that's legs were fused to its ass.
So I'm gonna start thinking that maybe the real cryptids are the ones that have their own beer.
The best cryptids have their
We
own
need to
beer.
start doing a collection of
Beast.
cryptid beers.
I'm gonna go ahead and push it before you even say anything.
Can we order this on the internet and like
And try it. I feel like we need to, and then we'll all get some, and then we'll film our reactions to it. Yeah, absolutely.
we should do like a cryptid beer test.
No, yeah, I told
Episode.
that to Jamie the other week.
Episode, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is it says the dark side of the moor, so I feel like it's gonna be a really
A dark
It's a
beer.
stout.
stanky beer.
Yeah.
It's a stout. And Brie had a stout and she hated it. She shook one sip of it. Although everyone, a low-key plug for
Don't tell them, please, because
Okay.
it'll sell out.
Okay.
Actually, it doesn't matter. No one else is in my area. Go for it.
Yeah. There was a beer at Trader Joe's called Cookie Butter Beer, and it tasted like Christmas in a fucking can. It was fantastic. Fantastic, everyone. Get it.
Can we spend a second talking about how they named, because this is probably a craft beer,
Yeah, probably.
No, yeah, for
and,
sure.
and how they name these craft beers. Like I've seen like Devil's Taint or Bigfoot. I saw one
Devil's
yesterday. It was Buffalo Sweat.
Yeah. They name it literally the most wildest things in the world because I think
love
that
it.
okay, so like I think Brie can attest to this. There's something about the name and the way the label looks that makes you want to buy it. Like there's an
Yeah.
appeal to it, whether
But I
people
don't wanna
realize it or
drink
not.
something called
Like, if-
Buffalo Sweat.
Listen, if I see
Yeah,
something
that-
that's like Bigfoot's tainty sweaty balls ale, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
As long as it was like with a hint of apple, I'd be
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a hint of apple.
Yeah.
So if there's a beer called Bigfoot's Dick Cheese with peach, Bree's like,
All right,
On
let's
it.
try. Yeah.
I got an IPA the
You
other
lost
day
me
when
at
Jamie was
peach.
here that was just awful, and now it's just sitting in my fridge.
Oh, the
But
cheesecake
I was
one.
drawn to it by it looked like pink, and it just looked so cute. Like, and I was like, okay. Oh God! And
Bobby,
I didn't realize it was a sour. I hate sours.
Bobby,
But
we're
it's
thinking
like
about
raspberry
sorry.
cheesecake.
Stop making beer that tastes like other things. I
Bobby, we're
fucking
thinking
God, it drives me fucking crazy.
we're thinking about doing a
I need pancake syrup,
cryptid beer
blueberry
taste
pancake
test.
beer.
Are
Wait,
you
sorry.
into it?
Yeah,
Are
that's
you-
fine. Sorry,
Okay,
I get
yeah,
triggered
alright.
by beer that are flavored by dumb shit.
All right, give us to the next one, B. Most
So we
beer
should
tastes
do
like
that.
shit.
you don't like
Actually-
Rutabaga beer?
No.
You guys, we
What?
should do that
What?
this month because it's Oktoberfest.
October.
So that would
Oh,
make
for
so much
Oktoberfest?
sense.
All right,
to
everyone,
do,
go
like,
get beer for
cryptid
next week.
beers.
Except Tony because he
Whoa.
won't be here
I won't be here, so we'll have to.
Okay,
do
the
that
week when you
I
come back.
the week you come back.
I don't like the idea of that at all.
Fuck off.
So
You can do it. You can
the
do
most common description of the
Hold on.
beast is-
Sorry, Tony, I got to
Go
interrupt
ahead.
real quick. Now, Brie, are these pixels or is those spots?
Are those
it. Those are
spots?
spots.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. We all
That is
agree
a-
on this.
That is a
God damn it.
black jaguar.
Wish I could jump through the screen sometimes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a leopard.
I love it.
Leopards have like really meaty heads.
Meaty.
Meaty heads.
So meaty.
heads. There
So
we go.
meaty.
Oh, this is like
That's
ASMR.
Joel
in my headphones.
McHale.
God damn.
Remember Joel McHale?
I love
So
Joel McHale.
meaty.
Yeah.
Joel
And then he became
McHale.
irrelevant.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's a meaty pussy right there.
so right, Tony.
The most common description of the beast is compared to a puma or leopard, which were actually hybridized by this guy named Carl Hagenbach. Who would have thought that a German
That sounds like a
would-
beer.
It does actually, for sure.
Hagenbach?
Hagenbach does.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who
No,
would have
Carl.
thought a German would be hybridizing an animal? That's just
Oh, it's
Okay.
so sad.
Is that
it took me
okay?
down. It took me down a
It tried
dark
to
rabbit hole.
it tried to turn its eyes blue and shit.
Yeah.
Give it blonde hair.
give it blonde hair. Although the offspring were always found.
Oh, the animals must be Aryan animals.
So all of them ended up being dwarves and didn't
Lord
live
have
very
mercy.
long. So it's like the exact opposite of a liger, which gets like really big and has gigantism and doesn't stop growing.
Oh, God.
There is one preserved in a zoological
horrifying.
museum in Tring. Again, another stupid ass name for a place. The name for the hybrid species is a puma pard.
I just
Puma
started laughing because I just
pard.
realized that it sounds like something else, but it's supposed to be puma and a leopard.
Yeah, it's a puma pard.
But it's
Puma pard.
didn't call it puma. Oh my god.
It's a puma tard.
La Puma sounds nice.
Yeah, La Puma sounds way better. But
You
the
guys are killing me.
Fucking puma tards all over my English farm today.
Yeah, but it's so sad. Honestly,
Not my
nothing
apples.
triggers me more than animals in captivity. Like it fills me with rage.
Bree,
And
let
I
your cat.
went-
You got a cat? Let it free right now. Let's see you do it right there on the air.
My
here.
cats run. I open up the door.
Yeah, it
and
wants
they
to be
run.
free.
No,
Yeah, they
like
wanna
they
be
run
free.
in the house. They don't run. They run in the house. They're rescue cats. I think they were like, hell no, it's whack out there.
Yeah, but the thing between cats and dogs is you can take any cat, throw it outside in like 12 hours. It's like, I am the wild.
Yeah,
You take a dog and you like let it
it's
outside
like
and it's
eaten
like
by a hawk.
no, it goes to the nearest street and tries to run in front of a car. Like, how do I? What's this?
Yeah, dogs are dumb as fuck.
Dogs
But
are not very smart. Yeah.
this is the taxidermied
the
pumard.
puma pard.
Pumard.
The
Puma-
Pumard.
Pumard. But
Pumard.
yes, it made me really sad, the things I was seeing. I was like, fuck this thing.
Leopard.
Yeah, so
Puma
can you
pard,
go back to that real
Puma
quick, Bree?
pard, Puma. I don't know.
Yes.
Can we
Mm-mm.
talk about the fact that that animal is not black in any way, shape,
True.
or form?
But this is the
Mhm.
only one that they have now.
So is it like a litter of
Puma tards.
He there were many of them, and
Uh-huh.
again they were all short-lived. They were just like bing bing bing, and I think this was the last one that they did, and I want to say I don't even know what the hell they did. I think it was like normal cats where some of them are blonde and some of them are dark.
Mm.
This
not
is
purebred
all that's
cats?
left. Yes,
these are
even
Puma
purebred
tards.
cats can end up oh my lord.
Oh,
I don't know, he just
no.
looks like an evil man, and I don't like that he's
German.
holding cats here
Okay,
with
okay.
collars that looks like that. I just hope that.
Can you imagine having to draw those pictures for the newspaper back then? That probably sucked. So Andrew Kitchener.
Kitchener.
Kitchener. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Kitchener.
Oh, it is Kitchener. Kitchener.
Yeah.
Kitchener.
The E in.
These English people are names.
I know, right? Why can't everybody be a
Tony
Smith
fucking
or-
hates English people. It's so
People are
funny.
coming in.
Like, why?
Andrew
I'm
Kitchener
sorry.
of the IUCN, the catch specialist group, told BBC Magazine, Wildlife Magazine, fossil evidence indicates that the lynx survived in Britain until 1500 years ago. Its extinction due to human activity rather than environmental changes. So if there
Human
is,
activity is
if
code
there
word for killing
is,
them all.
I think it leads towards. I mean, we have that skull that was a puma, and the beast looks like a puma. We do know that they have made hybrid pumas, and then also that the lynx used to survive in that area. So we have to start to build our not necessarily skepticism, but this is like the opposite side of the spectrum. This is like, what are some of the things that we can think of? Maybe could a lynx have survived? Could one have and then mated with another primate in the area and they created their own hybrid? These are the things that we need to start thinking
Did you say a primate?
Okay, okay, here's the other thing too. Even if
bird.
it is
a monkey.
What is happening? What is happening right now? No, but even if it is some undiscovered cat, I mean, it's still just a fucking cat.
Yeah, but it's still a cryptid. It's unknown.
No, I get that. But yeah, I get that. But it's like, all right, there's a cat.
It's just a cat.
We know about cats.
There's nothing really paranormal or supernatural or like it's literally just an animal. And at that point, like at least with some things like Bigfoot or with maybe like Dogman or some of the other cryptids we go into, there's this like more paranormally side to it. Whereas this cryptid is absolutely void of that.
Well, it has that one story where the people couldn't find it in the house because that never happens with cats.
That never happens.
Yeah, but it also speaks to the fact that they had been trying to capture this for so long and they never were able to.
Sorry, this is my fault. This is factor sci-fi conversation. But
no, and I know what you're saying, and that's exactly why I was gonna message you guys earlier today and be like, "The fuck is this?" But then I was really thinking about how that's really what cryptozoology is. It's the idea or evidence of an animal existing, whether that's in a particular area or just overall, in which we haven't been able to document or officially say, yes, this is here.
It doesn't have to be some bizarro anomaly.
Right. This is like the one instance where I feel like we don't have something super bizarre.
Exactly.
Well, actually, there is. There is one report.
Nice segue, Bree.
Excuse me. There is one report of a goat, sheep, whatever.
That's next week.
That was killed by the beast of Exmoor, where its face was like completely stripped off of the skull.
That's disgusting. Love to clean that up.
Now that's very cattle mutilation-y.
Yes.
But dirty. More dirty. Cattle mutilation seems to be very particular. Clean. Just an eyeball.
Things.
Okay.
Draining of the blood.
You guys are the experts. I'm just trying to.
No, but I could see where people can because that's the thing though. A parallel I was going to make probably later in Bobby's cryptid or when we did Factor Sci-Fi, but like it's interesting because I feel like a lot of times cryptids come up when people's livestock go missing. It's a very common theme, whether it be aliens or cryptids or
Bigfoot,
paranormal Bigfoots in that area. It seems that when you have livestock going missing, a common thing that people always say is the reason for it is some type of a cryptid. So who's not to say that it's not just kind of like a God of the Gap theory, alien of the Gap theory kind of thing where you're just like, well, I don't have the answer, so it has to be this.
Yeah, and having your livestock killed is something that's going to make you pay attention.
Devastating.
Right?
Devastating.
Like it's not like
livelihood.
Like, oh, we lost another sheep. They're like
lost another one.
Yeah, but say you didn't have a bunch of sheep randomly dying or whatever animal it is. You probably would never notice there was a big cat around or a Bigfoot or a fucking chupacabra. You know, you need something to instigate that possible explanation.
Well, you have to have a villain. And I think it's important, especially with the flora or the fauna in the UK, is that the amount of natural predators that there are is so slim that what do you blame it on? Do you say that a fox killed 100 of your sheep? No, you'd sound like a fucking idiot. So something has to fill in that gap.
That
what
void,
killed
exactly.
your sheep?
I went down the rabbit hole of that too today, which was really depressing. Oh my God. People out here just running sheep over in like certain farms. and then people will capture foxes and like use them as bait. It's just like there's just so much shit. I'm like, what? I hate this. Get me out of here. So
Well, I
there's a
will
lot of
say-
horrible things that are
I
happening to
won't
sheep,
say.
whether it's cryptid or alien,
Or not,
even just
yeah.
human related.
Especially in
it's-
Wyoming.
Why
I was gonna say,
Wyoming?
especially in Afghanistan.
Okay.
What?
Jesus
Those are
Christ.
goats.
It's okay. Bree doesn't get it. It's okay. It's okay.
I said Wyoming. Okay.
Jimmy,
going
why
on
are you
out
trying to
there?
say I don't get it? I'm confused.
That's okay
Don't
because you
worry.
don't get it. It's okay. It's
Don't worry,
inappropriate.
Bree.
It's not.
We'll tell you
Now
after
this
the
is
show.
Microsoft clip art
Those
of a
memes are
Black
stupid. I don't like
Panther.
that.
No,
from
it's not
19
stupid. It's
97.
inappropriate. It's good that you
Yes.
don't get it.
Michael
So,
just said
like I
sex.
alluded to
Yes,
earlier,
exactly.
I'll text you.
No, you won't. You'll do
exotic
that, Jamie.
animals were popular in the 60s and 70s during the Austin Powers era of the UK.
Era.
And they had a Dangerous Wild Animals Act, which led to a mass release of many privately owned wild cats. And since we established that cats go feral super quick, they just turn into predators the instant they're not given food. They're just like, okay, fuck you, I'll get my own food. And so they're going to start killing domestic animals and everything else. And so once again, the Brits are responsible for the decimation of their own ecosystem.
It just breaks my heart, though. Could you imagine, like, you should feel like a failure if you think you're going to have this exotic animal, which is wrong to begin with. Don't ever do that. You suck if you ever want to do that.
For sure.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't have this anymore. Okay, you open the door, you're like, bye, Kiki. And then
Yeah.
it just goes off. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's dumb, right? Like the intention was like, hey, we can't have these wild animals as pets, right? And then the government comes along, they're like, you gotta get rid of them. And there's no fucking procedure or protocol to give up your animals.
Nope.
Thus, you let them out into the wild, completely creating the problem you were trying to avoid in the first place.
Right. Exactly.
It's kind of like what, to be completely serious, it's kind of like what happens in Florida with the boa
That's what Hawk Spiller
constrictors.
said.
So
He just
there,
said that.
yeah, there's a lot of pythons or boa constrictors in Florida that are released, and then you have like Busch Gardens and Disney and Universal Studios, and they have their little zoo things, and a hurricane comes through, and
For
the
child
animals
trafficking.
get out, and then they start reproducing in the Everglades, and they have no natural predators, and that's why in Florida you can literally, there's bounties for pythons. Like it's ridiculous. It's
And iguanas. The
Iguanas
are
are
a big
fucking
thing,
crazy too. You're allowed to just go ham on an iguana over there.
Yep.
Florida is its own country, though. So,
It really is.
It is
you know,
America's
wild,
way.
But yeah, that makes sense, especially like you said, if there's a hurricane and whatnot.
Yeah, it's
Busch Gardens, man, I haven't been there in so long, but they have a ton of
Birds.
animals down there.
they do. They have a lot, and it's important to understand that like these animals get out and then they adapt to the environment that they are in, and maybe they weren't originally like designed for this cold weather, but if they were raised in that, maybe
I
a
don't-
lot of these people kept these cougars and stuff outside in outside cages. They're gonna adapt to living in that kind of condition.
I don't
Yeah.
know if there's enough evidence to warrant an entire episode on this, but apparently legend has it there was like a lab in deep south, like South Desert, Texas, near Mexico. There was a lab that released a bunch of fucking monkeys. And through one degree of separation, I know a dude that was like in a deer blind one time, and like a straight up monkey like fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like to see jungle animals in the desert. That gives me the creeps. Remember that polar bear?
No,
Remember the polar bear from Lost? That was
Oh
creepy.
yeah,
Oh, that
That
was
was like,
scary.
I don't
Bear
like-
on a tropical
I don't know
heard
why
so
this
much
is
about Lost
horrifying.
recently. I'm gonna start watching Lost again.
It's not as good as if you see it the first time.
Really? Can you see the
I
second
think
time?
people
I've
just
tried a
need to
couple times.
realize that you shouldn't be relocating things, and we really do. You might not believe in a carbon footprint, but we do have a
An
significant
ecological footprint for
No,
sure.
yeah, like people
Huge.
have known this for years, like for centuries. Like you don't fucking
Yeah.
bring foreign shit into new areas, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. That's why a lot of countries have such strict rules about like when you try to go into Australia, they literally
Look at the
search
frogs
your
in
fucking
Australia,
luggage.
like fuck shit up for like a decade.
Oh, the
Mhm.
cane toads. And
Yeah, the cane toads.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! So like Hawks Killer is saying that you can get paid to kill pythons. So
Mhm.
it's like it stems from the smallest thing and then just blows up to the point where now they're gonna just
Yeah.
pay people.
In
But they're not
Texas,
gonna stop it.
in Texas, a wild hog is like a vermin. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
want you to come to your property and like kill them for them.
Murder, yeah.
And you can actually like rent like helicopter hunting tours where you just like shoot
Shoot the
Wild
shit.
hog.
$8,000.
from a
$8,000.
If I had $8,000 to
He's like,
toss
I know.
around, that would
I
be
know.
top of the list.
Start a GoFundMe.
I'm
$8
sorry,
grand,
but
and
that's
you
just
can-
fucked up. At that point,
No, it's not.
this is now their habitat. So just
No,
let
it
them
isn't.
be.
No, but
No,
if-
you don't
but it's
understand,
not,
Bree.
and if-
They're destructive. It's beyond the
Mhm.
point of them just living there. It's like them coming onto people's property and digging up like their electrical systems underground and like things like they're literally
To
destroying.
me, that's
things.
karma.
and eating
No, Bree,
eating
they
the crops.
can kill people.
Like I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah, they
when I do it.
100% kill people. Absolutely.
Yeah. They're incredible.
The people argument doesn't work here, by the way.
I know. Sorry,
No,
Bree.
it doesn't. I don't care
It
about
doesn't.
people.
But they're
All right,
they're
right.
incredibly
Back to our
bad.
predators.
It's
They're
worse for
animals.
the environment not to kill them.
Yes.
Okay.
Writers.
This is something that I also found. Hopefully this will let me click on it right now. Yay. So there was a bunch of lambs being eaten and they thought it was something sketch as fuck, and it actually just ended up being fucking sea eagles.
What the fuck does that
But
mean?
so the sea eagles
big bird.
have
What the fuck is a sea eagle?
wingspan. I don't
A
know.
seagull?
I just know of seagulls.
But it's a sea eagle.
It's a
Yeah.
sea eagle.
Okay.
Yeah, seagulls.
Seagull.
That's how they say it in England. I'm gonna make that up right now.
Slander.
It's a sea eagle.
Seagulls. It's a sea eagle.
I want to
Wingspan of 2.4 meters. That's huge. So that is not our seagulls. Our seagulls are
feet.
baby. Yeah. So
Yeah.
these are different. A seagulls, SEAGULS, is different.
I
from
don't
a
speak the
sea
commie metric
eagle.
system. What does that mean in feet?
They can weigh up to 18 pounds. Okay, so if this is 2.4 meters, I want to say that 1 meter is
that's
like
a big ass bird.
a 1.5 to almost 2 yards for us. So
No,
it's a
it's
very.
like it's over 2 yards.
That's a big fucking bird.
I'm saying
big
1
sea-
it's a
meter.
big
It's
seagull.
not.
Yeah.
1 meter isn't over a yard. I mean,
Yes,
over
it
2
is.
yards.
Still
No,
a big
it's like
bird.
1
1
meter
point
isn't
something.
over 2 yards. It's
Right.
like, yeah.
A
So
meter
this is a
stick.
huge. Anyway, it even so these things are so giant. It says fully grown. They can even snatch up any type of sheep. So, I mean, this could also be an explanation for a bunch of sheep being taken and missing from
No,
the sky.
Can I show you guys what it looks like?
from the sky.
Yes,
The sea
they're
eagle?
so
Look at
cool.
huge. Look at damaging their livelihoods by killing 200 lambs in the past year.
That's fucking dope.
So
Birds are vicious as fuck.
Birds are fucking badass.
Well, they are dinosaurs.
Yeah. Assuming those are real.
Bam. Those are sea eagles.
Look at that thing,
It looks like Sam the Eagle from Muppets.
doesn't it?
Ooh,
I'm aging
yeah.
myself.
That is a sea eagle.
I just confirmed.
Dude,
So-
we're getting tattoos of sea eagles. Look at that thing.
Fuck
Yeah.
They're
That thing's
majestic
fucking
as
badass.
fuck.
Yeah, that thing is
They look mean. Look at them feet. Look at them
that thing's
legs.
giving me a majestation.
It's giving me a sea
freedom boner.
I
erection.
want to see that
Giving me a
one.
freedom boner.
Sorry, Bree. Go ahead and you put yours back now.
No, it's okay. I'm done.
Oh, that was the end of the presentation?
No. Was it?
Really?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh, all right. So, are we factor sci-fiing then?
We talking about those
Tony
eagles?
has stuff to tell us.
Not the
Shagosh.
eagles. The
Mm.
beast.
I can't copy and paste, which I hate from the chat.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, from StreamYard.
I hate that you can't do that from StreamYard. It's a douche situation.
All right, Tony. Any other talking points before we get into factor sci-fi?
Convince us, Tony, of the weirdness.
I don't know if I can convince of the weirdness. I mean,
Sea eagles are not seagulls,
Yeah, no.
Mr. Ben. They're different.
We
So-
Googled it.
We just Google.
I'm gonna give this a 10.
Wow.
Wow.
So
As far as a unknown
Cryptid?
animal, undiscovered animal.
Wait, I guess just let him go. Just let him go. Let's see
I'm
what
not
he
going to
takes
say
it.
it's a unknown animal. I'm going to say that it is, and this is where you can get kind of sketchy with classifying animals. Do I think this big cat is native to England? No.
Mhm.
Do I think that after 3 or 4 or 5 generations, since this started in the 70s, now can you classify it as a new species of big cat native to the UK, since that is where they have descended from? How many, generations removed from where it came from before it becomes a new species? I think people let out their big cats in the 70s and they adapted and they hunt what they can hunt. And they're extremely limited in their numbers, but it's a new species because they've learned to adapt to this environment.
So
Okay.
when something's considered, and clearly I'm no scientist, but when something's
What?
considered
You're not?
a
No
new
way.
species, is that
Mhm.
can that happen from just a few generations of like adaptation to new environments?
Why not?
Yeah,
mean,
I
they're-
just don't know the official.
I don't know either, but like in my mind, like that's how it would work, right? Like talking back to bears, grizzlies and polar bears started mating together, creating prislies, which is
Oh, they're beautiful.
Prislies?
Yes, they're
That sounds like a Pringle or something. Like,
So-
it sounds like that would be
Yeah.
like a chip or
A pizza
Dude,
flavor.
Prislies.
don't
A
walk up
pretzel
to that.
Pringle Prislies.
Don't walk up to that murder machine.
Mm.
But just
Oh
like
my God.
in 2 or 3 generations, like that's a whole new species.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is,
you're right. Because like you think of like a mule, even.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was thinking, I read up on this too about. I don't know if it's true. It didn't make any sense to me, but it was saying like big male cats are sterile, which makes no
Mhm.
sense.
hybrids. Certain hybrids are
Like a
So
mule,
like
okay.
the
donkey.
liger or
No, it was
Yeah.
something like a leopard. Like it was something like a male leopard
well that was the leotards.
is infertile.
that
Oh,
we
those
were
are the
talking about.
leotards.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, one
Yeah,
of
the
them
leopard.
That was
is.
the leotards.
God damn it!
Those are
Fucking Bree, come on.
That's
All right,
just-
Bree,
have
let's hear-
another drink, Bree.
Bree, let's hear your fact. Let's hear where do you lay on the cryptid scale of probability, ma'am?
So I don't think this is anything supernatural, but I do believe, I think that there is enough evidence to suggest that there is a large black beast in that area. You know, I don't think it's anything like extreme, but I can see how either if something escapes that was exotic not that long ago, let's just say one person had two anything, just name any of the things that they said,
chimpanzees.
cougar, whatever.
No.
Let's just say they had a male and a female. That would be enough for them to mate, right? And then produce more offspring. So I can see that happening. I think there's definitely enough evidence to support that.
So
Totally.
what?
So
where-
does that make it a fact?
Are you
well,
it kind of
well-
sounds like you're facting it.
I was like, I don't
Okay.
know. That's what's hard about it.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, Bibby,
really
I'll let
is.
you go.
So
The
here's
suitcase is
my
big.
here's my first thought. The reason why the supernatural shit does not hold up at all is because what was that? That for that account of the quote unquote supernatural, it was in what, the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like I alluded to earlier, like everything that they say is supernatural about this is like literally what a cat does. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to find in a house, and it ran away very quickly, and you're like,
Super
yeah,
fast.
it's a fucking cat.
Mhm.
So
Wait,
in
to
the-
be fair though, cats are known to be interdimensional beings, and also that if you have one, that they're like a spirit guide for you, and that they're like a form of extraterrestrial. And if you're lucky enough, you'll have one.
But Bree, this
So.
was you could have.
I'm
said
just
that on
throwing
your
out the
Facts
cat thing.
Sci-Fi.
Like maybe.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, cats might be interdimensional just in general. So let's consider that. However, I just feel like if this was if this wasn't an explainable non-recent phenomenon, if there's one thing I know about like British people and that whole culture, if there's anything that like there would be lore about this.
Yeah.
Like long before the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there would be complete Arthurian legends about the fucking
The
beast of
cat
Exmoor.
from the beginning of time. Yeah.
Or it would be some sort of like druid spirit animal or something. And
Yeah.
it's not any of those things. It's the time of, hey, you eccentric weirdo British people need to release your giant cats. That when that policy came down, or get rid of your cats or whatever, that's when the sightings started. That's like a pretty solid coincidence. So I say like
Absolutely.
at best, it's Tony's explanation where it's like, all right, we know the origin of this quote unquote cryptid, but maybe it is like a new species because of enough time has passed. Now, one thing I don't know, you may have mentioned it, Tony, but I was reading up on this. Like, these sightings are like incredibly common as well.
Yes.
Like I think it was like there's like 200 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
I mean
is
that says something.
Yeah.
That
Like
kind of
UFOs.
leads me towards that idea that like there's this small subspecies of whatever was released into the wild that is now, whether they like it or not, native
Right.
to the area.
So it's one of the few like completely explainable cryptids. Like we know we're pretty solid on the origin of it even before we decide whether it's real or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think that they are probably real. And now again, could a tomcat get out of a farmhouse and adapt to the wild just like a wild exotic pet or something and kind of grow in size? There's all kinds of things to play with here. I don't think the supernatural thing, other than the just inherent supernaturalness of cats in general, I don't think that plays a big part in this. So I think it's an incredibly explainable, and it might be like I jokingly put my name as sci-fi. It's a puma. But if we're going off, are they real or not? Are they like a real animal?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go like a 7.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start by saying what's hard for me about this one is the one solid thing we've had with a lot of these cryptids was what Bobby was talking about, this idea of the origins coming from the more like Native Americans, coming from the beginning of time kind of stuff. And we don't have it with this one. This one is definitely something that's more recent. And so it's hard for me to like wrap my head around this of calling this a cryptid, because to me, this is just some type of misidentification of an animal that's already out there, or like you guys are saying, like a version of something that was accidentally let out and bred with what was ever out there, and that now that's what people are seeing. I don't think any of us are contesting the fact that this is not what they're seeing, right? I think what comes into question is it something that we already an animal that we already know and just can't fathom and understand is living in that area, or is there some maybe more mutated version of some things that were out there that have just adapted to the area and that's where they live now? So it's hard because to me this isn't it at the surface level. It's not cryptid to me, but like you said, Bree, the more you dig into this, that is what a cryptid is. It's like you're trying to figure out something that science doesn't know. So it's like so weird for us because usually when we're factor sci-fi, like in my heart, I want to be, this is a sci-fi, this is not really a cryptid. But then in light of it, well, it is. It's just now this is something that I think that we all collectively are agreeing that can be identified as some version of what I was just talking about.
I think there's got to be a term for a known species in like
Yeah.
a foreign area that's kind of iffy as to whether or not it's there. But if you like, you always hear about how like if there's one animal that people always talk about, we're like, well, the park ranger says they're not real. But locals are always like, yeah, they fucking are. I saw one. It's always a cat. It's always a fucking cat. It's like a bobcat or a cougar. They're like, those don't get far down in these parts. And like, yeah, they do. And they always have to come out every few years and be like, yeah, by the way, it looks like bobcats are back or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of reminds
lions.
me too of one like snakeheads, which is a type of fish in Florida. So snakeheads are native to
Of course, Florida has a fish called a snake.
Of course.
but they're native to like Indonesia or something like that. They can walk on land. They're just like the most Floridian fish that you could ever think
They
of.
can walk
like
on
a
land?
like a mud skipper.
Yeah, well, yeah, they can breathe outside of water. They're just
Lots
all
of
around.
Florida
freedom.
lungfish.
A crazy ass fish, and they have big, giant, sharp teeth. But
Florida's wild.
they've lived in Florida for so long because they got too big for their tanks and they just dumped them in the river because people are dumb as shit. So
especially in
now
Florida.
it's a species that lives there, and they're just like, is that now? Do you change the taxonomy of it to be like the Floridian snakehead?
Yeah. Like at what point is it like, all right, these things are here now?
Yeah,
well, not just that, but they're their own slightly different version of it because they've adapted to that area of it.
Right.
Yeah, it's adapted to a place with alligators and sharks, bull sharks,
and on some level, this isn't like a new phenomenon. Like we have wild horses in America. There's
and they're federally protected.
There's all kinds of livestock that isn't native to this continent, and vice versa. You know, corn and tobacco went to Europe. You know, shit like that. So I don't know. I feel like I'm back
here.
I'm just saying, like, it's not.
Comment.
It's not like nature, like life doesn't find a way. Like it's not recommended. It can fuck the whole ecosystem up. And
absolutely.
We should avoid doing it. But it's also like.
It does do that.
Shit fucking life goes on either way, you know.
Either way.
It has to just rebalance itself out through a few generations.
And here's my question with this, because the government in the UK so vehemently denies that these exist, even though you can have a skull that you find in your yard and go, I found this in my yard, and they go, no, you didn't. You're like,
yeah. So like
what confirmed it, but you don't think they're here.
I totally get the agenda behind the government, like denying the existence of Bigfoot or aliens, but like what's the angle
big
here?
Cats, right? So like, does this create a new category of government created cryptids just to kind of placate the people? Because these are small towns. Like they don't want their kids playing if there's a 150-pound cougar running around.
Right. I think that's true in a big town too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
wild
have a
boars.
question.
in
But
New
yeah, they're
Zealand.
more in touch with like
I've
the
been raising
realistic
my hand
dangers
for
Oh,
of
sorry,
nature.
Bree.
2 minutes.
Go ahead,
no one's
Bree,
used
go.
it, though. I'm like,
Go ahead, Bree.
Bree, you have the flashlight of
Oh.
ghost stories.
I was just going to comment back when Tony was talking about like, do you rename it? And you were using the example of the snakefish. I wonder though if you can compare that to humans, that we start from a different place and then we migrate, but we still hold on to the roots of ourselves. You know, we're still like, oh, I'm half Mexican and I'm half Scandinavian.
Mhm.
So maybe it's the same thing. Maybe you just keep the same titles. I mean, if
Well,
you rename a whole species, then it's like forgetting their past of where they came from. Or you would have to
Yeah,
split
but
them and
I
then
think the
look at
point
two
is, like,
different things.
over time there comes a point where that identification with its roots doesn't make sense anymore. There's no like desire to maintain, like, you could still say, this fish, this snake fit, what is it called, the snakehead?
Snakehead. Yeah.
Where are they from?
I think Indonesia or
You would
India.
just say this is the Florida snakehead.
Mm-hmm.
They
the Florida
originated
version of it.
Yeah.
but they did originate from this other species in Indonesia several decades ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I
it's
don't know about that.
well, you got to kind of look at it this way.
Tricky.
So if you look at the fossil record, all across the world there were elephants. During the Ice Age, we had woolly mammoths, right? They were everywhere. You have Indian elephants, you have African elephants, so you have all these elephants all over the world. Why are there only two species like the Indian elephants and the African elephants that exist now? What happened to the rest of the
Different
big
kinds of
giant
elephants.
elephant?
Yeah.
They died in the Ice Age.
That's what a lot of
Men
people
killed
assume.
them.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
They
we
Or
hunted
died in
them.
the circuses.
That's
No, way
okay.
before that. Way before that.
Mm.
All the furry ones died because that's how we stayed alive.
Alive, the mammoths and things that we killed. Yeah.
That's
So-
too bad.
Thanks, mammoths.
Question. Bobby,
Yeah.
do you have a movie rec for this week?
I do. It has nothing to do with
Okay, wait.
elephants or
Okay,
cougars.
hold on.
Or
Okay, wait, let me-
Are we?
Give it to me, Bobby.
Oh, I think this is like 1986.
Ooh.
Yeah, 86. Fred
Okay.
Decker directed Night of the Creeps. Now, as I was
Can you
alluding
turn the
to,
light on? Because
Yeah,
it's so
hold
dark
on.
in there. We can't see a goddamn thing.
Hold on.
The man's talking from a closet. Oh, fancy lights.
Hold on. We'll go bright.
This is going cool. Well, hello.
Hey.
God
Oh,
damn,
God,
there's a
that's
real
what Bobby
person
looks
here.
like.
There's
Yeah,
a
right?
real person here.
All right, I'm going back to the nighttime.
Wait, show the
Show the thing.
No.
thing.
Hold on. There we
No,
go.
but oh my god.
All right. Sorry. Okay. I'm just on batteries. Fred Decker directed Night of the Creeps. It has everything. The last week I recommended Slither. I'm pretty sure Slither was inspired by this one. There's something about I like the idea of aliens and slimy worms and zombies all in one movie,
Oh my god.
mixed with Tom Atkins, legendary Tom Atkins, and it's kind of a 80s college like sex teenage flick.
Ooh, it
You know what I
sounds
mean?
so good already.
Mm.
You know, it's kind of got that like fun, like we gotta lose our virginity kind of vibe.
Oh, I
to
love
it.
that.
Ooh,
That was my
vibes.
vibe.
Oh yes,
Very
They're like-
1980s, but it also has weird baby, infant looking, creepy infant looking aliens in the very beginning of it, slimy slugs and zombies and Tom Atkins, and it is a Halloween essential in this house, and I recommend Night of the Creeps.
Love
Night
it.
of the Creeps. I gotta watch that one.
Oh,
know what?
oh, Tony, you do.
I'm gonna beg you from now on. I'm gonna add on to your homework since it's not.
You can do whatever you want.
No, I'm giving it to you to do. When you give a movie recommendation, it would be cool if you could be like, it streams for free on
Let us know where it's at. Yeah.
Amazon, Hulu,
Let us know where to watch it.
Netflix. Yeah, because like I'm not gonna
Shudder.
buy a DVD player. I don't own one. I don't want
It's
to.
streaming somewhere. Hold on, I'll get you that.
No, that's
answer.
why I'm saying like you should start
That's
being
okay.
like,
Why
if you
you're
have
looking-
Hulu,
no,
it's
no,
on
no.
Hulu.
While you're
I'm gonna
looking
give
it
you an
up,
answer
I'll
right now.
tell everyone tomorrow me and Bree are going on the weird recap with UFO Jane and Rather and Amy. And then we don't have any other shows the rest of the week. We come back next week, but Sweet Tony will not be here. We are doing the Goat Man, so Bree is real excited about that one. And then we start next week our first episode of Only Ghosts. And we are covering the legend of Bloody Mary. Legend or real life story. We're going to dive into that a little bit because it's kind of both.
Yeah. So
You can-
I'm going to be gone next week.
Where are you
Are you
going to be, Tony?
excited?
I'm going to be in South America.
That's all he wants to say.
Are you gonna go to
Yeah.
Puma
He
Punku?
wants to keep it a secret.
I'm going to be in Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu.
See, I said Puma Punku earlier today, so now it's twice now. Weird.
You've heard it.
Puma Punto.
All right.
Puma,
So,
Puma.
I do
I just
have
want to do a yoga pose on those H blocks.
I do have
For
a
Instagram.
cat-inspired movie to watch.
Okay. Please tell us.
It is called, I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of this fucking movie. It is called The Ghost in the Darkness.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
I have our movie recommendation too.
Okay. Go for it, Bree.
It's
Ghost-
called That Darn Cat.
Oh, okay.
The one from the '60s or the one with Tim Allen?
The one with fucking Christina Ricci.
Isn't Tim
Okay.
Allen in
I
that?
have a movie. Wait, I have a movie rec. The movie
I
rec
love
is
that
everyone, as soon as you leave here, if you
Yes.
haven't watched our Bigfoot recap episode, you go watch that.
Wreck is a great movie. There's a new Evil Dead movie coming out. I just want to put
Mm.
that
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Oh, yes. And a new Hellraiser. And I think it's October.
Well, I heard
You're
that's
20th.
shitting
coming,
me.
yeah. I
Is
heard
it going
that's
to be a
coming, yeah.
remake?
That's on Hulu.
Hulu.
It is on
By the
Hulu.
way, Night of the Creeps is you can rent it pretty much everywhere. Voodoo,
Perfect.
Apple
Rent it.
TV,
It's not for
Amazon,
free
Google
streaming?
Play. It's free on with ads on Pluto.
There you go.
No, I've never.
All right.
Just I'll
Does-
give you $4 to rent it, Bree, if you watch
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
Thanks. Yes, thank you.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to say before we say goodbye to our beautiful, beautiful chat tonight?
See you guys next week.
Next
I
week,
won't.
Goat
We're
Man.
going Goat Man. We're gonna be Sans Tony, but hopefully it'll still work.
Tony, how long are you gone for again? We'll see you the following week, right?
Yeah, you'll see me the following week.
He'll be back.
On the 18th.
You'll be exhausted though.
Will I? I'm kind of a beast.
He's
He's
a
kind of
Marine.
he's
I
a machine.
believe
Yeah.
you, but you'll probably
He
still
fought
be
wars.
exhausted.
He'll be fine.
Still
He's taking a
I just want you
leisurely
guys-
stroll through
This
the mountains.
is this show
Stroll.
we do on Tuesdays and Wednesday this time is literally 70% of my leisure time through the week. So thanks.
Good. Good. We're glad that you're here. All right,
This is
guys.
all
We love
recreation.
you. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out and have sweet cryptid dreams tonight. Bye, everybody.
Bye.